Should have made my pipe bigger.
Oh, I know.
I thought about
Should have
that
held it
too.
out farther, maybe.
You just gotta hold fish out far. I'll show you guys how. It's really easy.
Gotta get
What
him.
is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new podcast, Old Carver Fishing Podcast, to be exact. It's been we got a full house today. It's
Yeah.
almost everybody except James. And I don't know if we can fit James, even if we wanted him in here. He could sit on Chewy's lap or Dan's lap, I guess, which would be just fine.
Well, we're partners. It's
But
all right.
we're here to we're here to talk some fishing today. We got a couple surprises for you guys today. First off, spring is here again. I said that on the last podcast. They're remodeling the bait shop right now, resetting it up, putting stuff in different spots, making it look real nice. It's really roomy now.
Yeah,
And it looks great.
it does.
It's going to look really good. The new rods are going to be put up, the new cat rods. But to get to the show today, myself, Luke Henches, Northwoods Angling, Fish on Luke on YouTube. We got Tara Lindsay here. Tara Lindsay on YouTube. She's also a TikToker, Tara Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Big time TikToker.
Finally got to see that picture, that TikTok with the worms.
Yep. We got Scott Goodyman. He is a old Carver pro staffer and sponsored by Norfin, I believe, right?
Yep.
Big fisherman himself. We got old River Dan here.
That'll do.
Dan Olson. He's the old Carver pro staff.
Carver's river rat,
He's the river rat around here.
king of the river rats.
I've been trying to have him teach me how to fish on the river, but he hasn't yet. I don't know why he won't, but it's real weird. And obviously, we got Chuy Godinez Jr., owner of Old Carver Fishing Bait and Tackle Shop here, Stoked Custom Baits. Today, we got a show for you guys. We got a good one. We got someone real special. I would call him one of the most iconic / prolific cat fishermen in the state of Minnesota. He's been doing it longer than about anybody, and on a professional basis. That's TV, magazines, newspapers. Chris Winchester is the man here today. Winchester Adventures.
Yay!
Chris, welcome to this
Hi guys.
podcast.
How's it going?
How we doing?
Chris.
I'm just wishing I was up there.
You know what? We would have loved to have you in here. I know you're a busy guy. He runs Everett's Resort on Pool 4, and he's guiding. So busy guy, which I understand. Can't win them all, Chris.
I understand. It looks a little crowded for me in there.
It's a cozy spot. We keep each other warm. It's really nice. So you tell me kind of your timeline of where you started with specifically the metro area fishing. We can talk about more growing up, and I know you didn't grow up here.
Sure.
But tell us a little bit about, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about Four Seasons, about Everett's, about your journey to becoming a guide on the Mississippi River.
Sure. Well, it all started in the early 90s. I was always an avid cat fisherman. I never had caught big flatheads until after high school. I caught my first couple in maybe 92 or 93. I'd been around them when I was younger, but I'd never really had caught them on rod and reel. So that kind of started the addiction. And like everybody, when you first learn, you fish every night and you're out there every day. And so it just kind of grew and grew. And in the mid to late 90s, I was doing a lot of film and a lot of articles. And to be 100% honest, I hated the camera in my face, and I was never good at comfortable in front of it. So I kind of disappeared from that section of it, and just been fishing now. So I enjoy it. You actually asked me for some pictures today. It's actually quite hard to find a picture of me with a fish, so it doesn't happen very often.
So it's a funny story. Before I met Chris, I had watched him on all the old In-Fisherman videos. I didn't know at the time, and I think I was talking to Jacob. Or someone, and he's like, "Yeah, that guy that's on all those In-Fisherman videos, that's taking all those Doug Stange and those guys to the backwater spots. That's Chris Winchester." And I was like, "Oh, I don't know who Chris Winchester is, but I've watched you on video a lot of times. I've watched that video specifically a bunch of times because I know I had someone comment in my Facebook post, someone from out of state. He's like, I've learned a lot of things from Chris about finding flatheads in backwaters because that's a kind of a special thing that not a lot of people do, or the opportunities are really not there for a lot of people that we have backwaters here in the Minnesota, but they're not flowing backwaters with wood and crazy structure. And you have some pretty special ones out there by where you fish.
Yeah, I have that video you're speaking of specifically. I have a very good memory of Doug Stange. I hit him in the back of the head with a 6-ounce no roll, and literally knocked him down into the floor of the boat. So he never really said a whole lot. He was obviously in some pain, and I got a Christmas card from him that winter that reminded me that he could control my destiny if he wanted to, and it was a very nice Christmas card. But said he'd recovered. But yeah, it came out of a snag, and he actually thought I'd cast it and hit him, but it came flying back out of a tree and hit him in the back of the head. So I pay a little more attention when I'm pulling one of those out now.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah,
People forget about that when you're snagged up, or even when you're pulling a fish fully loaded on the side of the boat. If that hook comes unhinged from either of those, that weight's coming flying, whatever direction that's pointing. I mean, people have gotten their teeth knocked out, broken bones in their face, eye sockets, losing eyes. I mean, those are some heavy weights. I mean, that's a 6 ounce weight flying at your face at 100 miles an hour. That's not going to feel good.
You're going to have a bad day.
So how did you end up getting hooked up with In Fisherman to be on their DVDs and stuff for the catfish stuff?
So Chris Niskanen, who was the outdoor editor for the Pioneer Press through the 90s, he and I were good friends. We hunted together and fished a lot. And through a lot of newspaper articles, I just slowly started making touch, like you understand, networking in the industry and meeting more and more people. And at the time, I walleye fished a lot and I bass fished a lot, and I guess I've come full circle because now I'm back to fishing everything again. But
right.
But it just slowly, you know how it is. You meet somebody and they know somebody, and you just slowly put that network together. And I was blessed. It was early in the catfishing era here in Minnesota, so there was a lot of opportunity to get out. It was kind of new; nobody knew about it. So it was a great time to be fishing. I honestly believe that I probably was the first person to ever put a bullhead on a hook in the state of Minnesota, and nobody could believe that you could do it. You know, now we're all looking for bullheads. So,
yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well,
people,
except the bullheads are all gone now.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about bullheads. There's too many for us to share. Dan has these secret spots he doesn't want to tell everyone about.
Look at him, he's clueless.
Not clueless.
Yeah, it's interesting. We were speaking of your longevity and your history of catfishing, especially setting the staple for like using bullheads as bait, and everyone's seen those In Fisherman videos, especially if you live in the Midwest and watch those catfish videos. I was kind of disappointed when the American Catfish Association didn't suggest you for the Hall of Fame. Kind of a bummer. But you can't win them all. I'm getting you on it next year. I don't care what they say. I'm cheering for you to get in there. So it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you on here with us. And you're my friend. I've known you a long time now, and we fished together. We've had some good times, filmed some shows, and I got to watch Jake up bass fish with you and not know how to throw a bait caster. That was a good one. That was a great show.
I kind of screwed him over. I missed an eyelet or two on his rod before I gave it to him, which I didn't realize. But I'm kind of glad I did, so it worked out good.
So you're big into the I know I can let some of these other guys get in there if they have questions. I don't know if they're bundling questions up right now, right? You guys are, I'm sure, thinking of all these questions. You're big into the bass fishing now, big time. Like you kind of were strictly cats, but I mean, you're a hardcore bass fisherman now, wouldn't you say?
I think there was a time I was fishing 15 tournaments a year, just local club stuff. So I wasn't big time by any means, but I love it. I love smallmouth. I fish them here on the river a lot. And,
nice.
If I'm going out for a couple hours just to have fun, that's what I go do. But there's some great fishermen on this river and a lot of good guys come out of here. So I really enjoy bass fishing. I don't know that I'm big time into it, but I travel around and fish them a little bit. So.
I want to get to one question here before we get rolling too deep.
Sure.
And I have another thing to tell you guys here in a second. We got a special guest coming in here shortly, but Ben Davis wants to know tips on early June fishing on Pepin, areas or depths to look for.
Is there a species you're wondering about, Ben?
Ben, are you thinking of a specific species? Let's maybe, I would imagine walleye, right?
Most likely. So if it is walleyes, June is a great time to fish Pepin, and most of it is going to be south of Red Wing. From the head of the lake all the way down. I've been fishing on the south end down near Lacupolis the last few days. That whole bite, the whole lake will be good. The depth, it's all right now. It's about bait, so. They're literally in the willow trees and they're up on the shoreline, and we're pulling baits in a couple feet of water sometimes. So depth is a really tough answer. And, fishing current, I tell everybody to shut their graph off and just learn how to read the river and read seams. But on the lake itself, there's times where 16 feet is the magic number, or 20 feet or whatever it is. But I couldn't tell you in June to go fish 14 feet of water and catch them. If anything, look for the shad, look for the bait. So.
Do you find yourself pulling rapalas or like casting in with jigs, or how would you go about that?
If I were to go out tomorrow with you and just go fishing for fun, we'd be pitching hair jigs or Kitex or something like that into the willows and into the rocks. Yep. That's a great way to catch a lot of fish. You're going to catch smallmouth and crappies and northerns and all kinds of stuff too. But if you specifically wanted to go catch a limit of walleye tomorrow, we would pull crankbaits, just troll them basically on the lake.
just rake the lake.
Funny story. Yesterday I had a trip, and at the end of the trip, I was down on the very south end of the lake, and we were eating a Subway sandwich and just driving up the lake, and I trolled 2.5 miles up the Minnesota shoreline, and we caught a keeper every 500 yards and 16 feet of water, and I was just driving the boat. We were basically headed back to the boat ramp. So I don't know that you could fish in the wrong spot right now. I think if you cover enough water, you're going to bump into them. So
sure,
good tips. So, Chris, I know you. I've done a fair amount of alligator gar fishing down in Texas.
Sure.
I've done the Brazos River. I've done the Trinity River. We've gotten some 200+ pounders. Almost 8-footers. And recently, have you done any gar fishing before?
Not very much. I've caught them as a side thought when I was on other trips. I've not specifically gone to target them, and I've never caught a big one. I've caught some fish that are 70 pounds, 80 pounds in that range. But
well, we got a special one today, guys. I know a lot of you have seen the famous black alligator gar that was caught. I believe it was down in Texas. Is that where it was caught? I believe it was Texas. And we got the two gentlemen here. We got the two gentlemen here that caught that black melanistic alligator gar. We got Terrell and we got Justin from Texas. You guys want to tell us a little bit? We're going to show the fish to the stream here in a second, but tell us a little bit about how that happened, what area or what river you were on. You don't have to say where you were, but tell us a little bit about it and what you do.
We were in southeast Texas.
That little area.
I read that they were. I was reading something on Google, and it was saying like a melanistic gar is gone for like 40 grand. So I was like, man, I might have to go back there, and me and Terrell might have to go get this joker back out.
Wait, you released 40 grand?
That's what it said on Google. But that's the thing though; those gar don't move that far.
They don't. They really don't. That's why when we always go fish, we go fish in southeast Texas too for gar, and we always call like one corner world record corner because there's always that one giant gar that's always down there.
Exactly.
And, that's like 30 miles one way from the ramp we use on the Trinity, and it's always worth it. We always have something crazy always happens. I don't know what it is.
The Trinity gar next level, man. It's wild.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Do you fish the Trinity at all, or is that what you're fishing, or are you fishing?
No.
water?
So I do all sight fishing, light tackle, fly fishing.
Okay, that's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I really don't get out of the salt water very, very often.
Okay, really neat. That's sweet.
But
I didn't know much about the story. I just saw the fish, and it honestly, I've I've seen gar, and it was probably one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Looking at a gar, how white those teeth look when they're on a black body.
It was wild to see. Me and him were like, I mean, you can hear the video. I'm like, oh my god, what's this?
Well, it's good to know you'll probably never catch one again in your life unless you catch the same fish.
And what's crazy is that what we caught it on is this little. It's a fly that's this big. It's a little crab fly that's shiny that my buddy Captain Colin Scoble ties, and he calls it a spork. And like it's a joke between us because this fly, I don't know what it is about it. It's a weird, goofy looking, but we have caught every game fish in the Gulf Coast on that fly.
That's
I
awesome.
think we should show them this.
Send some
fish?
over.
I'm gonna show the stream this fish. If you guys haven't seen it, you're about to see something pretty spectacular.
What
Look at that.
Isn't that awesome?
That's terrifying.
Oh, it's awesome. How big was that fish?
It's like 5 foot, about 5
It was
foot.
probably 5 foot.
Look at that.
Gosh, that's so sick. Was it
That is
cotton
awesome.
brackish
5
water?
foot, probably 50 pounds or so.
Straight saltwater, brackish, or fresh?
Look at the teeth.
It's pretty brackish. It kind of changes.
Yeah.
Like it's a really big area, and like there's a big tide movement, but like it's so big that water almost gets fresh because there's so much area.
God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's
Like
awesome.
there's hydrilla everywhere. There's we got hydrilla, like that coontail grass, like all in there. So like that water's
Salt
pretty
grass, a little bit of everything.
You gonna get a replica of that fish?
I honestly think I am. I've been thinking about it. I'm like, man, I don't want to.
I would.
Yeah, I would.
I definitely would.
Well, I got the guy if you want to do it. So.
Yeah.
I need a guy for it. If you got the dude.
It's the same guy that did my 118-pound catfish. He's insane.
He's a phenomenal taxidermist.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
trying to come up there and get on them muskie. Oh, I can't say that.
No, you can say that. That's nothing for this podcast.
Really?
There's nothing this guy next to me hasn't seen, so you're good, bro.
I honestly got warned twice. Luke's
I'm
mom's
just-
watching, her grandma's watching. I can't even say my name right now.
Justin,
Carol,
were you targeting? Did you see that fish? Were you targeting it?
No, we
Did you
were
see it to it, or was it just there?
no, so we were pulling out of an area, getting ready to head back, and we looked over, and you could see something in the water, like it looked like a log, and then it started moving, and I was like, oh, it's another gar. Like usually, they're more of a pain to catch because most of the time they won't eat.
Yep.
And I was like, well, here, let me just cast at him. And
I was
Justin's
like,
like,
no,
no,
dude,
like
he's not gonna eat it.
he's not gonna eat it. Let's just go. And I was like, just stop the boat. And I just like laid a perfect cast to him, and he jumped on it. And well, that was game over for that one.
Did you catch him on fly?
Yeah.
Yeah, on fly in the corner of the mouth, like not foul hook.
What
Nothing.
weight fly rod do you guys run for those?
That was an 8.
That was yeah,
It was
8
on
weight
my
with probably
rod.
like a 16-pound leader, tapered leader.
So you guys want to? I know Jordan. You want to come up and you want to fly fish muskie with streamers or what?
Hell yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm
So
trying
my-
to do the water.
be crazy.
spin.
Yes.
Oh.
the-
The
They call
figure
that the
eight.
figure eight.
Yeah, I like that.
so
That-
my buddy Clint strictly only used to fly fish muskie, and
Get
so
me
he's got
on.
all
we gotta trade some. I mean, like you hook me up a little bit, I hook you up. I mean, we'll just make some.
No, yeah, no,
We're
you're
gonna do
good. You're good.
business.
That's not. He's
Yep.
good at it. I mean, there's some smaller waters up in northern Minnesota, where you can really fly. He got a 50 on his fly rod.
Whew.
It was a beautiful
Wow.
fish. Beautiful
Yeah,
fish.
you got to come down here in the winter. We'll go fish Louisiana, and like when we go down there in the winter, man, like we've had days where like we're catching redfish, and like we didn't catch a redfish under like 33.
Fly fishing?
Yeah,
Is that all
size
you do?
fishing. Yeah, that's all. For me personally, if I'm fishing, that's all I'm gonna. I'm not going unless I'm like catching big speckled trout in the winter, which is like a wintertime thing here. Like that's when the big girls come in. But other than that, I'm fly fishing all the time.
Wow, that's crazy.
It is.
Dedicated.
Yeah, I love it, man. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like sight fishing when you can see a fish chase down your fly. Like
Yep.
there's nothing that excites you. Like it's like same thing as watching a tuna come, nailing, bait skipping across the water.
And you guide fly fishing?
Yeah, it's light tackle. You can use light tackle. You don't have to fly fish.
Okay.
But it's sight fishing is all it is.
So if you guys want to, if anyone wants to come down to Texas and do some light tackle or fly fishing for whatever species, I don't know what all you fish for, but how can they get a hold of you?
You can Instagram Lotus Guide Services or Facebook, same thing, Lotus Guide Services. That's
There we-
it.
Yep,
That's
put her
it.
up.
There it is.
Or holler at me 832-206-5419. What you need?
That's the attitude we like to hear.
So if someone was going to come down there, what time of year would you want them to come down and fish?
If you want to fish Galveston, I would say summertime, fall. It's gonna be like the schools that time of year, like summertime schools and fall schools are just mind blowing. Like you can just, it's like clockwork here. You know, you go out and you can be on, you know, schools of redfish that are, you know, 30 strong, just rolling through the marsh over and over again all day long.
I caught my first redfish ever in Galveston in the in the backwater behind one of the beaches we were shark fishing on, and I'd never caught one. We were trolling at like 7 miles an hour with crankbaits, and it hit it. It almost spooled me on my walleye rod, and it wasn't even that big.
Wow.
It's crazy. Like it was. Oh geez, what was I got? And,
Somebody backing up.
yeah, I could not believe how hard those redfish fight. And we caught a bunch of ribbon fish too. I guess those are hot commodities for some people. I guess they really like those to eat or something.
Man, the funnest
It's
thing
like
down here to
They
do,
use them for bait.
yeah.
For
Okay.
bait,
Yeah.
the bullheads of the South.
The funnest thing though, a really fun thing to do down here that we have a lot of is the Texas permit and the sheep's head.
Is the big black drum?
Oh yeah, they're here. They're definitely here. They're everywhere on the Gulf Coast, man. You'll get some like, you know, 50, 60 pound black drum.
Damn.
That's what I love about saltwater, even brackish water. It opens the ball game to so many different species of fish.
Oh, everything.
Kind of know what you're gonna catch when we're fishing gator gar. It's either gonna be an alligator, it's either gonna be a gator gar, or it's gonna be a blue cat, or a flathead, I guess sometimes. But we've never caught a flathead gar fishing. But I mean, we use big, huge chunks of carp head. I'm sure you've obviously seen what those guys run. But yeah, it's in the saltwater. You never know what you're gonna catch ever.
No.
Nope.
We
Keeps
have
it
days in
interesting.
Louisiana, like we've went out. I mean, we've had multiple days in Louisiana where we'll have, you know, we'll catch 9 or 10 redfish, then we'll catch like 3 gar, then we might catch like, you know, sheep's head are hard, man. They're like, those fish they will look down at your fly and just stare at it and just inspect it and just post up, don't move it, they'll swim away. You just barely bump it, they'll get back on it. So you just keep doing that over and over, and it's like, man, it's tricky, but it's rewarding.
I might have to get in touch. Yeah, that sounds fun.
That
It's
does
so
sound
much fun, man.
Huh. Well,
You
we
mentioned- I'm sorry, go ahead. You mentioned you fish in Louisiana. Where do you go? What area?
All of it.
All of it.
He doesn't want to
fish
give away
over
his
in-
stats, Chris.
I fish in Burris quite a bit, or just north of Venice. I just was wondering what area you were in. So
Taro goes.
Yeah,
back-
that's where I like to go. Yeah. Yeah,
I thought-
Buras, Venice, Hopedale, all that stuff out there.
Do you have something,
Yeah.
Chewy?
No, I'm good.
It's a pretty traveling. I mean, all of us down here, like different times a year, like there's stuff within 2 hours. You know what I mean? I could be at the Louisiana border in like an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad.
You sound
No.
like you sound like you don't want to give a lot away. Is it high pressure down there? I mean,
It's
you're talking to
actually
a bunch
not.
of Minnesota guys, so I feel like you should be pretty comfortable.
40 grand we're talking here.
Yeah, but I don't know who's listening. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
No.
hopefully a lot of people.
it's pretty cool down here, man. Like you got a lot of stuff really close. Like, you know, Port O'Connor, that's 3 hours away, and you'll go out there and you'll have, you know, 20 redfish days. You know, just nutty.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I think he froze. Is
Yeah, but
everyone
even the
froze?
estuaries too, like across the coast, also are so vast.
I keep
I don't know
bugging
where
out.
it went.
I'm gonna log in on my computer.
No, you're good. I think we're gonna pull you out right now.
Yeah.
But if you guys do want to go down and light fish or fly fish for saltwater fish, which sounds amazing,
It
Yeah.
does.
make sure you get in contact with Lotus Guide Service. We'll leave your guide service
Yeah.
information at the bottom of the
Well,
video when we're done.
Yeah, we'll chat, Justin. We'll see if we can find a spot, bring you guys back on, and
Do a
Cool.
full
do a full
podcast
interview.
with you.
I hope
Yeah.
I'll have some more
Just-
cool stories to tell by then.
Yeah.
Yep. Really like it. Thank you guys for coming
Thank you
in.
guys, man. We appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
bro.
That's awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
nice
Yeah,
meeting
thank
you
y'all.
guys.
Y'all have a good one.
They're probably thinking like, who were those guys?
What'd you think, Chris?
I love it down there. I actually am. That's my goal. Why I got a captain's license is to go down and fish out of Venice. Maybe not this year, but by next year. So that's as much as I like what we have up here. It's amazing. I mean, and where I fish, I'm on the Mississippi River down there. So there's 80 and 100-pound blue cats on one side of the dam and redfish on the other side, and sometimes they're in the same spot. So
Wow.
it's pretty amazing. So
You know, what do you say? $40,000 fish?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, you could have
Yeah.
sold it to a tank and made a lot of money on that fish.
Wow.
I mean, that's a 1 in a million fish. That's just not a. It'd be a crazy one to let. I mean, it's cool that they let it go. I mean, he probably didn't know it was worth so much money.
Oh,
Yeah.
But what do you do? Chris. So Chris was down in Venice. You were down there this last year,
yep.
and he got a giant black drum, which I did send a picture to Chewy to show you guys.
This guy right here?
No, that's a redfish.
There is in those pictures was a picture of a big sheephead that they were talking about. The sheephead is the brown and white striped fish.
Oh, I don't think you put it on.
Oh yeah, I may not have sent it to you, but that's what the sheephead is too. They're like fishing bluegills that weigh 10 pounds. You know, so it's a real blast.
fun.
Well, we do have some pictures of your redfish. Click on the one with the multiple people in that, Chewy.
Which one?
At the bottom, second to bottom,
Right
right,
here?
there. Yeah. There's some redfish. Big old. That's a big old bull red there, huh?
That
Chris?
is. That
So
thing's
the,
huge.
The smallest red in there that's a 30-inch fish. So I don't remember what that big one was, but he was a big one. So
Jeez, that's huge.
Wait, the small one's 30?
the small one is a 30-incher. Yep.
Oh, that's exciting.
Right?
So my friend Brandon Nyquist, he's a guide on the Rum River here in the Snake. He brought me back some redfish from Louisiana actually this last year. I cooked it on the half shell with some butter, and I don't know how else I cooked it. Is the
That's
best fish? That's a big drum, right?
That's a black drum there.
Yeah, that is.
Wow.
So,
That's a big one, but they're fairly common that size.
yeah, that'd
Not
be
here.
so fun.
That'd still be
Casual.
fun.
Oh, they're a
Dude, I
blast to
don't care,
catch.
bro.
I need to go do that.
Oh.
I know Jacob was talking about wanting to go down there next year. I think I really want to do it.
It's so easy. It really is. I mean, everybody down there will tell you have to hire a charter, you have to hire a guide, and you can go down there with your 17-foot boat, buy some shrimp, put them on a red jig head, and go catch fish.
It's
mean,
it's
I love
It's
that.
literally that easy.
it's 20, Chris, but we won't talk about numbers. All right.
It's like, when I
We're
was
not
down
talking
in
about
Florida,
size.
when I was down in Florida, I wanted to catch a peacock bass. When I told you this story, and they said the same thing. You got to get a guide, but I just went behind the Waffle House
Right.
in the ditch.
That's
You got to go hit
literally
the
it.
golf courses.
I always tell people saltwater would be the best investment on a YouTube channel if I ever
Mm.
made one. Was going to Florida or Louisiana. There's just so many fish down there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Most certainly. And
More like-
to us, even a less sought after fish is cool. You know, obviously
Right.
that would wear off eventually, but a ribbon fish, for example, is a lot of fun to catch, and everything you catch that weighs 5 pounds fights more than anything we have up here. So
Right.
you know, so if it's all about the fight, it's saltwater that you want. You know,
Right. Exactly. And I was going to say that redfish was one of the best fish I've ever eaten in my life.
Yep.
It was so good. But insane. I couldn't believe how good it tasted. Cleanest. Look at those sauger.
Yep.
oops,
Oh
who's that
yeah.
ugly guy?
I don't know who that is, but
I don't think I gave you that picture.
So that guy right there is a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
what's your biggest sauger you've caught on the Mississippi?
I don't honestly know. I've caught a couple that I've measured that are 23 inches, and I've had several
Damn.
like that.
Wow.
I honestly don't ever measure a fish unless I have to for a legal reason. Even big flatheads, I kind of see all you guys with the length and the girth, and then I always wish, well, I wish I'd done that, but I just put them back. You know,
Nah, you don't need
I
to do
don't
that.
honestly know.
Chris.
Right.
You don't need to do that.
it's just not my thing. I just if I'm with somebody, I'm certainly going to measure their fish for them. But but there's a couple I've caught over the years I wish I'd measured.
What is the biggest that you've brought in the boat then? Like
As
that you've
far as-
measured in your boat, like as far as catfish.
A flathead.
Yep.
That I've measured that somebody else had caught, probably 48 inches, somewhere in there. I personally caught 2 many years ago that were big. You know, I don't know. I honestly think they were 80-pound fish, but I don't know that.
No.
They all look really big when they're laying in the floor of your boat. So,
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
I do being down here in walleye country, I get to see a lot, like hundreds of 50-pounders, which is really odd because they're all 30. They're all 25 or 30. They're just caught by a walleye guy, so they're 50.
Oh, yeah.
I actually feel bad because I can't control my facial reaction every time somebody shows me a picture of their 50-pound flathead, and I look at it and say, yeah, nice fish.
Great 50.
Yep, they're
I
all
want to
50.
show you, James.
Great
I,
fish.
Look at that.
That one's a
big was
little over
that?
50, but
That one was good.
I've landed very few legitimate 50-pound fish. You know, you get one once in a while, but they're if I see one a year, you know, it's really good. Now and then you might get 2 in one night, but that, you know, they're just 40-pound fish. I always say are pretty common here on the river, but 50-pounders are a different level. I think that's a 28-inch walleye versus a legitimate 30-inch walleye, which
I agree 100%.
you know, it's just a whole nother number.
That's true too. I mean,
Yeah.
people say that, you know, get a 45 or a 42. I've gotten plenty of 40, low 40s, and I can't say I've caught a 50 because I haven't caught a 50 until I do.
I've seen a 50.
Yep, I have too.
I've never caught a 50.
I've seen 3, 2 out of my boat, 1 out of my friend's boat, and they were
Really?
not on my rod.
Yeesh.
Yeah, you got to find better friends.
I know. Jake, I was actually with Jacob. I don't know if we were in my boat. I don't know we were in Peter's boat, but I watched Jacob catch a 50. They're a different specimen when they're that big. I mean, their head's way bigger.
Yeah.
And people say I got a 50. You can pretty much tell the moment you see their hand in their mouth if it's a 50. You kind of know it's like that's not a 50 or it is a 50. I mean,
Yeah,
you can guess pretty.
it's a
damn
number that's thrown around real easily, but it's a real trophy in Minnesota for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's the same thing when you're, like you said, a 30-inch walleye, if they get a 29, or even like in Idaho when they catch 102-pound perch. You didn't catch a 102-pound perch. You caught 4 that were 2 pounds. That's kind of that magic number up there too. That's with all respect. I mean, it's just reality.
It's hard to catch a 30-inch walleye. I mean, you can get 28 and a halves, 29s, you know. And
That 30 is hard to break.
And you guys got to remember, you know, speaking with our river biologist, not every lake in this state, our fisher biologist can even grow a 30-inch walleye.
Yep.
Right.
It takes a certain body of water and obviously a certain amount of time. And walleye live a lot longer than they first thought. I mean, they're aging walleye almost 30 years old up at Lake of the Woods.
I would believe it.
So I mean, walleye live longer than people imagine. Now, are they fertile at 30? I don't know about that, but they're less fertile, but they have more. That's the thing. I don't want to get into spawning fish, but the older a fish gets, the more
The less it produces.
they produce more bigger eggs and stronger eggs that will actually live better in water. And then once they hit a certain age, they start becoming less fertile.
It's just like downhill
So-
slope.
It's an uphill slope, and then it starts to go down.
Yep.
But I don't know how old walleye breed or what, but
No
maybe they're
idea.
spitting. Maybe they're spitting blanks at 10 years old.
All mine go back either
Yeah.
way.
I had killed one big walleye, and I felt bad about it. I freaking cooked it with a 9-knot Big River hook.
Nice.
Kind of swallowed a bullhead.
Bro.
That'll happen.
What do you do?
I had a 29-incher in my live well a couple days ago, and it took me about 3/4 of the next troll to finally get the gentleman to let it go. It was his fish, and it was his right to keep it, but I was proud of him, and I think he felt pretty good. He wrote me later that day and told me how happy he was to let it go. But you know,
29 quarter.
What's that?
You say 29 quarter?
29. Yep.
Okay.
And we've had several 28 and 29-inch fish this week. 28-inch fish in the river are, I don't want to say common, but they're fairly common.
Yeah.
But 30-inch fish in this river, in my life, I've had 2 of them, both of them catfishing, and both were 32 inches. But those are only over 30s I've ever had. And talking with other guys who fish a lot, legitimate 30 inches just aren't that common. But 10-pound fish are very common. You get a 27 incher in February, it'll be 11 pounds.
Yep.
That's what I was telling when Jacob and those guys were catching those 27, 28s. I mean, they were over 11 pounds. I mean, it's crazy how fat they get on the river. It's just stupid. My roommate's fish was 28, and I think it was 11 and a half, almost 12 pounds. I mean, crazy girth.
Wow.
Crazy girth.
I got a 30 and a 30 and a half out on the Minnesota, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
I've worked my ass
That's
off.
what pictures
just
up in
so-
the shop.
Yeah, I don't post 30-inch walleyes anymore. I've caught so many.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I've only caught 5. I can't say I've caught that
And
many.
we got one more picture.
They were
Chris.
all of them almost raw on bullheads, by the way.
Well, I was actually walleye fishing.
I
so
caught 2 walleye
that's fine.
fishing.
Okay, here we go. Here's the last picture right there.
Look at
it's
her.
me.
Yeah.
That's a nice boat.
That was
That
the
was-
coolest day.
We're gonna
I'll
get
tell
to
you
your
what.
we're gonna get to your boat, but that's our one of our co-hosts here, Tara Lindsay, went fishing with Chris and got her PB sturgeon.
Oh, it's so fun.
She would have had a bigger one, but Chris duffed the net job.
I
It's okay.
I did knock one off with a net. And I haven't done that in several years. I couldn't believe I
No
did it.
way.
Guys, he felt
Yep,
so
it-
All
bad.
right, let's hear about this.
Yeah.
I just had a bad position on it. I was actually upstream of her in the boat, and I tried to reach for something, and I normally am quite calm with a big fish at the side of the boat, so that doesn't typically happen. And I tried to rush it a little bit, and of course the hook caught the net, and he shook his head and was gone. But
Everyone
it
gets a
was a
little
good
more
fish.
nervous with a blonde around them.
I think that was it. Yeah, that was even the swans were nervous. They were flying into trees around us. And all kinds of things. So I made sure to get the second one in the net. So
Yeah, that was a great fish. That first one you think was over 60, Chris?
oh, definitely. Yeah,
Looks
there was no
fat,
doubt in my
too.
mind.
Just a
I don't know
thick
how
one?
big it,
Thicky.
Are you talking about the one he knocked out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chris. Sorry.
I felt pretty bad.
Oh, that's funny.
So if anybody wants to come down and get a fish knocked off, come on down.
No.
You can show her to me.
And so you said that's a nice boat. So you do have a nice boat. Let's
Very nice
talk about this brand new boat you got this season.
Now let's hear about it.
So I'm just running a Sea Arc Easy Cat. I've had 2 other Sea Arcs now at this point, and I really enjoy it. I can't tell you that it's the best guiding boat that I could have picked. When I bought the boat, I wasn't really specifically planning to guide, but it's big, it's comfortable. Like 6 people in it, go for a little boat ride. It's got couches and
It's 26
very-
feet long, isn't it?
26 feet long. Yeah. So which isn't quite big enough for Tara and I to fish together because she was yelling at me a lot. So
Hey,
I wish we had a
hey,
pic.
hey.
You have a picture of that boat? Can I send it to you? Can you put it on
I
there?
could try.
I'm gonna.
You got a guy there, Travis, talking.
I taught Chris everything he knows.
Ay, 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 ay.
I don't believe that.
I spent about 4 hours fishing with Travis one time. I learned a lot. So
I love Travis.
times
He's taught-
we
This is-
I'm gonna be honest. He's taught me a lot about bass fishing.
That's for Tara.
he has.
Hey, girl power.
Travis has, yeah.
Well, there's my mommy.
Did you bass fish with Travis, Chris?
Just briefly, we were just out on a. Actually, his wife was due, so we went for a boat ride to see if we could hurry up the due date a little bit for him. But yeah, we fished a little bit. Had a great time. Yeah, we caught just a few fish, and we went out catfishing one time after that. But nice
He's a
guy. I
multi-
knew him
he's a-
from
he's a
his job
multi-little
prior.
guy. He's a multi-little guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't let him get to you.
I won't. Nice.
No, I was just at his card shop. He owns a card shop. I was just there a couple days ago, and I bought a box of cards for $60. I pulled a $200 card out. I felt pretty good about it.
Well, that's a lot better than no $200 card. So
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. We have any more questions for Chris? What are we running on time? We're good on time right now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna post I sent your picture of your boat to. How big of a motor does your CR have on it?
A 250.
What-
Damn.
When I originally bought it, you can get them with 250s and 300s, and there was zero benefit to a 300 horse motor on them. They literally 1 mile per hour and more gas usage and more weight. And so when they first came out, I think everybody ordered them with 300s, and now nobody will even attempt to buy one with a 300. But
Really?
yeah. But
That's
I
crazy.
love it. I love Sea Arcs. They're. I'm not exactly the nicest guy to my equipment, so when I push a tree out of my way or something, they handle it. So that's what I really like about them. They're commercial boats, so they're really heavy duty.
Right.
Sure.
No, they're cool boats. I like them a lot, especially yours. Yours has a pretty cool paint job. I like the color combination. If Chewy can get that picture up, he's really working hard at it.
Yeah.
He's really doing it. You can see him. He's doing it.
Well, I
Later?
decided if I was going to buy one, I had to buy something I liked. I wasn't getting another black boat. I can't keep them clean on the river, so. Yeah.
No, here's his boat.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that thing's sweet.
Camouflage with orange trim.
That is a nice boat.
It's so
It's
sick.
so nice.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier. It didn't look 26 feet long, but now that you
Huge.
say it,
Yeah.
It has couches on each side of the bow.
oh
Couches.
man.
Yeah, that's nice. I know Pete and Jen bought your old boat. They love those couches. They sleep on them when they're camping.
Yeah. They sure take better care of their equipment than I do. It looks nice.
Yeah, they sure cleaned her out. They told me they found some good surprises in there,
I
Chris.
I can't even imagine what was in there. I'm sure there were sinkholes from 5 years ago under the seats.
That's funny. So how are you getting pretty booked up for this summer for cat guiding or walleye? What are you mostly guiding here now?
Well, in a dream world, it'd be catfish, but I'm getting a lot of walleye trips now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty full through the end of June, and I'm starting to now get the July and August stuff. So I didn't really get a license until 3 weeks ago, so it was I kind of missed that window of booking, early spring. I really didn't want to take deposits or anything until I had the credentials in my hand because
Yep.
I didn't want to give money back. So so now I'm up and rolling. So I think next year I'll probably fill up a little sooner. But yeah, I've got openings. Really, those peak, July and August and September, which I think is all three of those are great catfish months down here on the river, and there's plenty of room. So
There is
I'd love
plenty
to
of
get
room.
some people out.
Yeah, if you guys want to, do you guys have any questions for Chris before I kind of tear down?
Well, Chris, you and I'll set a date. I'm coming.
Okay, no problem. I appreciate it.
I'm going down for bass.
Oh, Chewy wants the bass. Maybe it'll be like a group bass fishing day.
Maybe
Oh, man.
Maybe I can try out those new lures down there.
Leave
That'd
me
be
at the
true.
bar. I'm not about the bass, Chris.
I
Big
have
cat.
it. We
Big
can
cats,
build a
big
bar right in
walleye.
the boat.
All right. All
There you
right.
go. So if you
That
guys,
sounds like fun.
yeah, I know. I just need to
Sounds
get out.
like a lot of
I need to go,
fun.
Chris. We need to get out soon again. By the way, it's been too long.
Actually, I was going to text you today if you want to walleye fish Saturday morning. Get your butt down here. So
I'm actually free, so maybe we'll chat.
whoever wants to come along, we'll go pull lead core in circles for a while.
Oh yeah, I'll rake the
It's-
bottom a little bit.
It's like
There we
going to
go.
the grogrocery store. We're not.
That's
we're
right.
not- we're just trying to get some food. That's all.
Not fishing. Yeah.
But if you guys do want to book a fish, and this is, I didn't really emphasize the fishery you're fishing is Pool 4 below Red Wing, Minnesota on the Mississippi River. Arguably one of the best walleye fisheries in the world.
Yep.
Not to
Saugers,
mention
too.
giant catfish, giant white bass, giant sturgeon, huge sturgeon down there. People really overlook the sturgeon fishery there below Pool 4. I know Chris kind of has them dialed in there in the fall. And if you want to catch some crazy fish, big bass, big catfish, crazy walleye fishing, white bass is probably slowed down now, huh, Chris?
Well, the spawn is done, but
Yeah.
the best time to white bass fish is actually on Pepin in the middle of the summer, and you go out there and you chase the birds around the lake, and and I love it. You just full speed over to the school and catch them for 10 minutes, and then turn
Oh,
around and
that
find the
sounds
next
fun.
school.
I gotta
So,
try that. That sounds like a
it's-
good time.
It
It's my
does.
favorite way to fish them, with a popper and go get them.
So if you guys do want to get in the boat with Chris and his awesome Sea Arc, you can locate him on Facebook, Winchester Adventures, winchesteradventures.com. I don't know if you want people messaging you personally or do you just want to use your business page?
Doesn't matter to me.
Chris
We don't
Winchester on
hide, you know.
Facebook. Can you probably get a hold of him sometimes at Everett's Resort? You manage Everett's, right? And are you co-owner?
My sister and I own Everett's Resort. My sister and brother-in-law and I.
Awesome.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
Are you affiliated with Four Seasons at all anymore or no?
I left there about a month ago when I started guiding. I left, but we're still all on good terms. But
Okay, good.
Yep.
So yeah, if
Yep.
you guys want to get in touch with Chris and get out, I highly recommend it.
Yep.
And I don't say this lightly. Tara's fished with him. I've fished with Chris a couple times. Talk about friendly, talk about professional. If you want to learn, the guy has more knowledge on that river than you'll ever meet. I promise you that. If you want to learn fishing, it's worth the guide trip. Tip him at least a couple $100. And
I like that.
he appreciates it.
Gotta tip your guys.
You got to
good.
take care of that boat.
Yeah,
Take care of that
exactly.
boat.
He's a busy
Especially
guy.
with gas prices.
Book a trip with Chris. If you want to take me with, pay for me, take me with. And
That'll be extra. I just want whoever books will know that's more. If Luke comes.
It'll be in an episode of Fish on Luke.
no, but yeah, get with Chris. If you want to catch some Mississippi River monsters, I mean, it's right there. He's right there, and you're there, Chris. You're ready for him.
I'm ready.
Let's go,
Well,
Dan.
we appreciate you being a guest on our podcast.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me.
And let's get in touch about Saturday.
Yep, let me know. It's
Will do.
available.
Yeah, we'll all let you know.
Thanks,
Yep.
Chris.
I definitely
I'll-
want to go.
I'll
We
let
can
you
all
know.
fit.
Hey.
The whole bait shop.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
All right.
That would be a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks, Chris.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
Chris.
night.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep. Bye.
Love that guy.
What a treat.
Seriously.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I want to go catch some white
Yeah.
bass on
He's so good
poppers.
he's so good at fishing. It's just crazy
So
when you're with
nonchalant,
him. It's insane.
too.
Whenever I was reading his that bio that you sent, yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Dan read it too, right? Dan?
yeah.
Bio.
I skimmed it.
Yeah.
I did conquer. I had a bad day.
Anyways, I was about to show you. Here's Dan's.
Yeah,
That's a
there she
big
is. That's
one.
a dinosaur.
Yeah.
That's
That's
an
an old one.
old
It's
It's
fish.
a really old fish.
That's a
So that one's
chungus.
28 and a half.
28 and a half.
That's a good
Jeez.
one.
That
This
one's,
one's
that one's 30.
30. Look at that.
But those are like 5 minutes apart.
Yeah, I did the same
Wow.
thing last year. I got a 28 and a 30 and like 2 casts away from each other.
And they look completely different.
Yeah. That 30's old, dude.
Yeah, that was an old
was
fish.
December 23rd on the boat.
Really?
Yeah, baby.
Stuff
Yeah,
full of
he came
shit.
into that. He came into that. And told me, "You're crazy, dude. What are you doing? Nothing."
Catch
right
it on
now?"
plastic?
Jigging a minnow.
Oh, really? Pitching or below the boat?
Just jigging.
Straight down?
Yep.
That's fun. Just that tick and that
Jig and
rip.
minnow.
Oh man. It felt like a small one
Yeah,
too.
that's the thing. You never know.
Never know.
Never know
No,
until
we
you
always
set the
set them.
hook.
You set them
Oh,
hard
yeah.
out there, no matter what.
To the eyeball.
What we
Just like
learned
Tara.
is hook sets are
I
fucking
said it.
free.
That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
I got Chewy for the jigs.
Yep.
Hook
Yep.
sets are free.
That's what I say. I make my own, so I just rip it. When are you gonna get the Hellcat rods in? Do you know?
Couple weeks. It's gonna be a couple weeks.
Couple weeks. They're gonna get another stockman of shipment of Hellcat rods in. Catch the fever rods. They got their Chris Flores rods in. They got the Mad Cat rods in stock now in the
Yeah,
shore.
they're stocked.
They got all the new Nocturnal Nation hooks in. It
Yep.
looks like Rico is just putting those up.
Yep.
So I mean, they're stacked up on hooks. How weight's coming along? Weight's
Yep,
good.
Cleaning that.
Weight's gonna be out soon.
Yep. Saturday.
Saturday, weights are going to be in if you guys want to stock up on some lead. Hooks, swivels, they got artificial baits, they got suckers in, they got shiners in right now. They got everything right now. Other than that, I mean, it's
Yep.
game time.
Studio
Yep.
will be studio will look a little bit different in a couple weeks.
Oh, will it?
It will.
Ooh.
River
Uh-oh.
River has crested in on the Minnesota now, and it's
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
down.
baby.
This morning.
Even
yeah.
with this rain, it's going to be going down. I think it might steady off just a bit, but it's probably not going to go back up. It's game time. Flathead time is like it's
Let's
gonna get
go.
really, really good really soon.
I know I'm finishing up 2 big jobs, and I'm taking a week and a half off.
Yes,
You
sir.
guys are gonna see my little John
Yeah.
boat out there for sure.
My work
Hey.
nights are gonna be a little rough here soon. I'll just say
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely.
But make sure you guys come into Carver Bait. I got my new sturgeon stickers in the shop.
Oh,
if
yeah?
you haven't seen those, and yeah, I mean I haven't sold any yet, so they're fresh off the press.
Yep. And if you buy a cap, you're not getting one free.
Yep. You buy a cap, you get a
You get
sticker free.
You get a flathead sticker. free.
Flathead sticker free,
Yeah,
not a
just make
sturgeon
sure.
one. Not a
Clarify
sturgeon
that.
one. So you don't have any? I'm not even going to say. Does anyone have any questions? I think we should end her there. I think that's a good, strong ending to a strong podcast.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That was awesome.
And I would like to welcome Tara to the podcast. She is an official podcast
Yeah.
member.
Yay!
Claps. Yep. So everyone, send Tara a love letter. Let her know how much you appreciate her being on the podcast. We needed some
Girl
we
power.
needed some girl power in here, and she can really work the ladies to get them on the podcast. Talk some women anglers. So I think that'd be really fun.
Yep.
And then we're probably gonna let her go after that. So
Yep. Probably.
I'm just kidding.
Jim Mullers, he had a question and I missed it.
Let's see. All right, we can reply to some comments after the podcast, but
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming into this podcast. Next week we got Muddy River Catfishing,
do.
Chris Flores
Chris
from New
Flores.
Mexico,
Cool.
and
Yeah.
he's one of my favorite humans. So if you guys haven't watched, if you want to get a little preview on Chris Flores, Muddy River Catfishing, it's going to be a good episode. He's a super good dude, and he knows me and Chewy both know him, so it'll be kind of a fun little thing.
You know him? You know everyone.
And I don't know
Yeah, he knows
everybody, but
everything.
I know Chris. But yeah, thank you guys so much for this episode, Old Carver Fishing Podcast, and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
Bye bye.
But